Hi everybody and big welcome back to cEDH TV. Here me and Pontus are going up against Black Coffee and Snuske.
Yo.
So I'm still playing the new Ob Nixilis Captive Kingpin. I kinda like this guy. He has been doing some pretty cool effects so far in the games I play with him. And there's a lot of really cool synergies with various strange cards like Reckless Fire Weaver, Mayhem Devil, Lightning Field, Firebrand Archer. Even just attacking with Hope of Gurupur actually generates triggers, and then you have Loyal Apprentice. But in general, it's just a basic Had Nos, Underbitter Breach, Rakdos deck in general. So here we go.
So, talking about pings, I'm basically playing a Curiosity Storm list. So the goal is to play Veyran and a bunch of creatures who deal 1 damage to each of my opponents when I cast instant Sorcery Storm and creature spells. And then Storm with Curiosity. And Mons will have a Curiosity for himself by default. So that's not nice, but we'll see how it goes.
I'm playing Kodama, preemptive interaction in the form of stacks. This is Absand Scales, which is one of the original Kodama Tymna lists made by Gaspar and our good friend Scoots, way back in the day when Kodama was first on the cEDH radar. Seen a lot of iterations since with this one because it just has the good old animate that loop, and then you can do a bunch of other fun stuff with Rule of Law and still being able to put a bunch of stuff into play with Kodama. So let's try it.
This is just a simple find 3 cards, win the game. Red Tower, Phyrexian Devourer or Heliod. We have just all the tutors to find it. I'm not really worried about stacks and everyone out. I just want to get there before anyone else does. We're just trying to sneak in under everybody else because people don't really counter creatures.
Yeah, let's draw starting 7. 3 lands, no acceleration, no real way to get to our game plan. Let's see some milligan. Second 7. This isn't the worst thing I've ever seen, but it's not that good either. We would rely very heavily on being lucky from the Frantic Search, and that's not something I want to keep on a 7, so let's go to 6. This hand is also kind of risky with just 1 land, but the payoff is very much there. Possibly heavy turn 2 Ristic, while we also have 2 of our best payoffs in hand already. I also have a Crimson Wisp, so if someone plays an early creature, which they hopefully will, we might be able to draw an extra card before untapping our turn 2 to hopefully find that second land to cast Ristic. I'm keeping this. This seems pretty good. Go ahead, Mons.
So this first 7 doesn't produce a very fast commander. It is still a hand with a bunch of good cards, but I want to have a hand get the commander to play turn 2. Feels priority number 1, so to say. So we're gonna mulligan this one, because I'm hoping to draw into like a Soul Ring or Mana Crypt. And there we go. Perfect. We have a Jewel Lotus. Ooh, we have a Birgi too, and we have Burned Out for interaction and a Chromox. And Shivan Gorge. Nice. And with the Chromox and the land and Shivan Gorge turn 2, we are not that far away from actually activating the Shivan Gorge. And then says Divine in top to control a little bit of what we're gonna have in the exile. But the Jewel Lotus is like a snap keep right on here, together with a little bit of a value, a little bit of more mana acceleration and interaction at the same time. So great hand, really happy and excited for an awesome match.
So we look at our first 7. A nice draw engine, even though we have 12's trickery for some answers. Stop someone doing something stupid. We'll keep this. Hopefully we'll get there.
1 land with Mox Diamond, like turn 1 Drannith would be nice if we draw into a land, but that's a big risk to take. Like we need consistent hands with this and like early relevant stacks, especially when we're going last. So we'll go for a second 7. 3 mana turn 2 for Tymna, or just start ramping into like a finale. It's not great. It does have a lot of mana. 2 of the lists are kind of fast. It's a tough one that we can justify going a little lower since this is just second 7. Just looking for some kind of early stacks, especially because of Veyran and Storm. I think this will do just fine. Like it sucks only having 1 land, but at least we have the turn 1 Esper or Deafening Silence, and the Marshflats can just go and get a Savannah, and then we can start doing Arbor Elf, and hopefully we draw into another land. If we get to Sarah Paragon, at least we can start playing lands from our graveyard if we're struggling. Alright, that sucks.
I will start us off by drawing a card, playing it with the Foothills, and passing.
I will go to my turn and draw a card, and lovely. I will do a Verdant Catacombs. Crack it. Finding a Badlands and casting a Jeweled Lotus. I would like to sacrifice the Jeweled Lotus for 3 red.
I cannot counter it.
And I'm gonna cast my commander, the Ob Nixilis Captive Kingpin, for exactly 4 mana.
I will respond and crack my fetch.
Smart.
Finding a volcanic island, but no further effects.
I have further effects. I'm gonna cast a Chromox, imprinting this red burned out, and tap it, and cast a Sensei's Divining Top, and then I pass the turn.
Just going to play. I don't want to play this, but I'm going to play a Bloodstone Mire, and I will just pass.
Sadly, I will have to play this Marsh Flats, and I will crack it.
Trigger my commander, exiling a Mox Diamond, putting the collected cards right there.
Until his next end step, he can do it. Yeah, you should do. If you can wait, you should do it on his end step. I will find a Savannah, and I will cast a Esper Sentinel.
I will respond.
No, don't do it. Let me draw cards so we can deal with this shit.
Force of Will. No. Nah, I'm not gonna let you draw cards right now.
Come on.
I'm going to tap a red, give Ob Nixilis haste and draw a card.
Vesper resolves, I will pass.
Land for turn will be this Flooded Strand.
That's a fetch land.
I know.
Do it.
I will fetch.
I will trigger Ob Nixilis. A mountain. Great.
Finding Steam Vents and paying 2 life. I will cast a Chromox. Imprint. I'll imprint this Krark. Then I'll tap 3 for a Rustic Study. And then I'm passing 2.
I'm gonna untap and draw a card for turn. I'm gonna play this mountain from the exile zone. I'm actually allowed to do that because it reads play, so I can cast and play lands. Then I'm gonna cast this Loyal Apprentice, paying 1 extra mana for the Rustic Study to prevent card draw. I want to go to my combat phase and trigger Loyal Apprentice because I do control my commander, creating a 1/1 flying Topter. And then, so we're going up against non-decks that are on Adnals and such. However, we are on 2 green decks that could play Sylvan Libraries in their deck. However, as there's a player or a deck in this pod that are on stacks, and if I get into a situation where I need to remove a stacks piece in order to win the game, it is good to preemptively smack that person a tiny bit, so that whenever you can get that person to disappear, you just attack that person with your huge Voltron Ob Nixilis, and all of those annoying stacks pieces are gone. This also means that we can control when the stacks pieces need to get away, because if one of our opponents are being stacked out and we don't want them to win, we could simply just not kill that person. But it's good to like build up a little bit of commander damage here. So we're swinging at the Tymna, Kodama, Snuske, Absam player, and sending the Topter at Pontus, because it's Pontus.
No blocks, take 1.
Yeah, no blocks. Take what? 6?
6. This will trigger my commander to grow and exile a Prosper, Tomb Bound. I'm not going to be able to cast that one. But we are actually going to cast the Mox Diamond. And both Esper and Rustic can draw a card each, being fair to everyone. Exiling Volrath Stronghold to it. And then I pass the turn.
So before you move to your end step, I would like to fetch.
So you lose the life at the beginning, before my end step, so this is not a may, it will happen, he will grow, and I will exile a random card which is Slaughter Pact, which I could actually cost, but I'm not going to, because that is just giving card draw here, and I don't want to pay for the pact. So Slaughter Pact and Prosper will go to permanent exile, and you get your fetch.
Get myself a Tiger. Draw, play a Plateau. Just going to tap for 2. Just want to play this Arcane Signet. I cannot pay for anything. If that's good, I will pass the turn.
Let's cast this Arbor Elf. You may draw.
Ah, thank you.
Cast a Deafening Silence. Please use your limited stuff on the Ob Nixilis. Let's go.
No response to Deafening Silence.
Pass the turn.
Go to my turn. Cephalic Coliseum.
Nice.
Almost. But I'll just tap 3 for my commander. And with my commander in play, I'll pass the turn.
In the end step, I'm gonna activate Sensei's Divining Top and look at the top 3. So 1, 2, 3. I want to black like that. So this one is going to be the one that I will draw. Tap it and draw a card. I want to go to combat first thing first, so adding a new counter here. So I've already punched Kodama's Tymna for 6, so I will attack with my commander Ob Nixilis at that player again for 8. So next time it will be commander damage lethal. But the 2 Topters this time is going at Black Coffee for 2 damage.
No response, take 2.
I have trouble with this reasoning.
This will trigger my commander to exile a top card, which is a Grim Monolith. Now he only triggers once, whenever 1 or more opponents lose 1 life each. And then I'm sending 1 of these tokens each, 1 at Pontus and 1 at Black Coffee, for 1 damage each. This will trigger my commander to exile a Grim Monolith. And then I'm casting Birgi and paying for Rustic Study. After that, I'm playing a Shivan Gorge as a land drop, and this Grim Monolith can go to exile because I don't want to feed a dockside, which I'm already doing quite well. Pass turn.
Play this Misty Rainforest, sack it and lose life.
in response to my Ob Nixilis trigger, I'm gonna spin the top and look at the 3 cards. 1, 2, 3. And I'm going to make so that this land gets exiled into it and put the other ones back, that, and this one will be on top and goes to exile.
I'm going to tap 3, paying for Ristic, but not for Esper. I would like to soul partition the Ob Nixilis.
Esper trigger.
You can draw, paying for Ristic.
My commander will go to special exile.
Pass the turn.
Play this Ancient Tomb as land for turn. I will lose 2 life, cast a Grim Hireling.
Ristic trigger.
You can draw. Like to move to combat. I'm sorry, Coffee, but it's just 1 damage. I will attack you for 1.
You've declared war. I will take it.
Make 2 treasures. Pass the turn.
Go to my turn. Land for turn will be this Exotic Orchard. 4 mana to cast this Stormkill Artist. Faithless Looting. Trigger Stormkill twice because of Veyran. You may draw. Draw 2. I will discard this Mox Opal and this Shattered Skull Smashing and create my 2 treasures. Then I will pass my turn.
I'm gonna go to my turn, untap and draw a card. So I don't need to have my commander in play in order to play things from exile. So I will play this land from exile. And then I'm just gonna recast my commander more or less for 2 more mana. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Generating a mana here. Can't use the mana to pay for Ristic, so we are going to let Pontus draw a card here. However, with the red mana from Burgi, I'm going to activate Sensei's Divining Top, looking at the top 3, that one, and this will be on top. Then we're going to combat. We're generating a Thopter, we're sending 1 Thopter at Pontus and 2 Thopters at Black Coffee, the Naya player.
No response.
Before damage, I will sacrifice 2 treasures to cast a Cathartic Pyre to deal 3 damage to Ob Nixilis. Trigger Stormkill twice because of Veyran.
I think I have a Pontus problem now, more than an Ob Nixilis problem. Just saying, guys. I'm not politicking, I'm telling the truth.
I still can't storm.
I have no response. Ob Nixilis is sent to the command zone. Then I pass the turn.
Untap draw. I'd like to play a Spire Gardens. A Viridian Revels. Every time my good friend Pontus sacrifices some treasures, I will get to draw a card. And that will go for the same for any artifact that hits the graveyard. You may both draw.
I will respond. Respond with an offer you can't refuse on that one. Trigger Stormkill Artist twice.
I have no response and cannot defend it.
Viridian Revel is countered and you make 2 treasures.
I'll sack these 2 tokens. I'd like to play a Manglehorn. Gotta start respecting this Ristic study eventually. I will pay. ETB. Yeah, I think Esper. And I'll pass the turn there.
I'll cast a Vampiric Tutor.
Trigger Ristic.
You can draw. I would like to move to my turn. Untap and draw. Play this command tower that I totally didn't just tutor for. Sack these 2 treasures. Cast a Elishnor. The old one. The original one. -2, -2, +2, +2.
Snuska, we can talk about this.
No, we can't. Talking is over.
Ristic status trigger?
We'll take the chance. You can draw.
I have a response.
No, you don't.
To cast this Frantic Surge. Trigger Stormkill twice. I'll make 2 treasures. Draw 2. Discarding this Ragavan. It's probably this Gush. Then I pass on Elishnor.
Elishnor will hit the battlefield. Anything with 2 or less toughness will instantly go poop. Grim Hireling over at Pontus, and we're gonna swing the Arbor Elf.
I take 5.
Second main. Let's cast this Jeweled Lotus.
Trigger Ristic.
I'll pay. Jeweled Lotus resolves. Yeah, it's just gonna be Kodama and pass. But I realize also that casting Kodama first this turn would have been sick. Sacrifice my treasures, sacrifice my Jeweled Lotus, and put a Kodama on the stack.
Trigger Ristic.
You may draw this time. Pass my turn.
I will go to my turn, and my commander will die before I get to 7. Not graveyard though. Land for turn will be this island.
If I get to put my commander into play Pontus, which I can afford, and we buff it, because it will survive the evil... Oh wait, Kodama has reach.
Kodama has reach.
We need to feed my commander for a great
feed him a
cause
bunch.
quite a lot before I can kill him. But I can kill him!
Yeah, I cannot really help. So I'll tap 2 and cast this Fimage.
I mean, couldn't you take a Kodama here, Pontus, instead of a second Elishnor?
I'm down with the double.
It's an Elishnor.
Yuck. My Birgi dies.
Then I'll cast my commander again. Pass my turn.
Untap and draw a card. I'm gonna spin the top, since it's the Divine Top. 1, 2, 3. Put them back like that and that. Then we're gonna tap the top to draw the card. This one. Put the top back on top. And play Ursa Saga as a land drop the turn. And then I'm passing the turn.
Untap. 2 Elish Norns is a problem. Yeah, my issue is I can't even cast my commander, so pass the turn.
Move to my turn. Untap and draw. Play this Bountiful Promenade. Archon of Valor's Reach.
Triggeristic.
I will not pay.
No, I pass.
I have a response to this. I am going to Deadly Rollick and pay for the heuristic study. I'm gonna target your Elish Norn Snuske. I was really dreaming of you going to combat and using your Grim Hireling to kill his phantasmal image by just the target trigger and then blowing up both Elish Norns. But I can't risk you naming instant on this, so I think I'm forced. If you were going to do that with Archon of Valor's Reach with instant, this would have all failed. So I'd rather have your Elish Norn gone than Pontus gone.
Deadly Rollick can resolve, yeah.
This dies, this dies, this dies.
He's going to name instances, most likely. The question is, do we Tybalt's Trickery this, or is this now the time to blow up the Rhystic and the Deafening Silence so that he's forced to play it on instances to stop Pontus? I think we're going to destroy the Rhystic, the Deafening Silence, and pray that Pontus doesn't have anything to remove the Archon of Valor's Reach. So I would like to respond to the Archon. I'd like to cast a Forcer Figure. I think we just take Heuristic and Chrome Mox, or attempt to.
I will respond. Deflecting Swats. So Deflecting Swats will change the targets. I will destroy the Deafening Silence and Monsters Ursa Saga.
Boom.
Then I'm good with Force of Uyghur to resolve.
Well, I guess we have to go with instant now. So we're naming instant. I have a Kodama trigger for 6. I would like to put this Sarah Paragon into play. This is Sarah Paragon. It's a Stacks Redundancy piece. 4 mana, 3/4 with flying. And once during each of my turns, I can play a land from my graveyard or cast a permanent with mana value 3 or less from my graveyard. Permanents also gain, if it's put into a graveyard, it gets exiled and I gain 2 life. So it's in play and I would like to cast a Deafening Silence. I guess Deafening Silence resolves. Pass the turn here.
Go to my turn. I don't think there's a card in my deck that gets me out of this. I'm just thinking, like, is there any card that gets me out of, like, both of these Stacks pieces together? And I think the answer is straight up no. Cast this Jessica's Will. Make 4 red mana and exile top 3. It will be a Chain Vapor, a Gutter Snipe, and a Mindbreak Trap. Cast a Gutter Snipe. Cast a Archmage Emeritus. Okay, so Archmage Emeritus is a way for me to draw cards. If I can cast Battles, which I cannot. I'll move to combat. 6 at useless, okay?
Fuck with Sarah Paragon.
It's dead. Then I'm passing.
Going to my turn, untap and draw a card. So now that one Elish Norn is gone, we can cast Commander for 6 mana. So this is the first time I actually the second time I cast it from the command zone, because first time it was soul partitioned. So I'm getting it back into play as a
Triggeristic.
2/1. Can't pay Rhystic and I pass turn.
I think here we're just going to cast Shalai. Cast a Shalai.
Triggeristic.
I'm not paying. If that's good, I'll pass the turn.
To my turn. Cast a Death targeting Sarah Paragon.
Triggeristic.
I will pay. Sarah Paragon enters. I lose 4 life. I have a Kodama trigger for 4. I will put a Sararak into play. I will venture into the dungeon. I will go for the Dungeon of the Mad Mage. I will gain life. And then a Sararak will return to my hand. Play this Marsh Flask from my graveyard. I'll pass the turn.
Go to my turn. Tap red to cast this Rite of Flame. Trigger Gutter Snipe twice. I'll also have 2 triggers to draw a card from Archmage Emeritus. So I'll draw 1 and then draw another. Tap 3 to cast this Tandem Lookout. I'll soul bond it to this Gutter Snipe. Then I'd like to go to combat. Okay. 4, 8, 12, 16.
Kodama will block the Gutter Snipe, and Sarah Paragon will block the Veyran.
Then I would like to move to cleanup. Just gonna Thunderclap and you Lotus.
Yay! I will untap and draw a card. I'm going to activate my Shivan Gorge to make every one of you take 1 damage, and I will exile the top card of my library for it. Pyretic Ritual. There's a Rhystic study in place, so we're not casting that. However, we are going to cast a Sensei's Divining Top and pay for Rhystic study. Well, we gotta start small, I guess, and soon you're coming at me anyway, so Pontus, I'm attacking you for free in the air, because you don't have flyers.
No blocks, take 3.
And then I pass the turn.
Untap. Let's cast this Heliod.
Wait, that the wins, right?
It will do.
Yep. Triggeristic.
I'm not paying.
No response.
I would like to give Shalai and Hallar lifelink. I would like to swing 1 due to Elish Norn. We do it at Mons.
I knew it. I don't have blockers. I'll take it.
That will trigger Shalai to get a 1/1 counter.
Well, I guess I will crack my fetch in response. Autopact is gone, but and so or instance, but you never know.
So when you crack that, I will exile the top card of the night.
Well, there's an Archon in play.
Oh, but still, it's still really funny.
Oh my god, I can't cast it because there's an Archon in play.
Snusky, why did you throw this game? No, it's cute.
So this is super fun. So yeah, so Snuff Out is a instant where I can, for free to cast, I just pay for life. I have a swamp, Badland is a swamp, and I can destroy a non-black creature like Shalai and Hallar there. However, because of the Archon of Valiant's Reach, I'm not allowed to cast it, so we will stay in exile forever. But I like the effort, Snuske. I appreciate it.
I'm gonna go search my library now and drag this out.
But yeah, I have no further response to infinite combat stuff, infinite lifelink here.
So Shalai will do combat damage, which will trigger lifelink, which will put a 1/1 counter on her, which she'll then do 1 damage to Mons, who's on the highest life, which will then trigger her again to put another 1/1 counter. And we'll continue this loop, killing Mons first, then Pontus, and then Susuke, and winning the game.
So I was having a really great Ob Nixilis game, but 2 spot removals on him made me just fall behind a little bit too much.
Yeah, this deck is very bad at handling stacks. So, yeah, that's how it went.
Doesn't matter if I'm on Adnos. I still get beat up, I guess.
Lifelink for the win.